Militia's abducted and forced in a fight. They've got an attitude. Not bad at heart.
Right. I just wish there was something else we could do for them.
Yeah. Not exactly the best role models, huh?
Capture the White Mamba, the child soldier's commander, and bring him back to Mother Base. First off, head for Voila Yamasa.
Please select a deployment point.
That's where the commander, White Mamba, is supposed to live.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Buddy has infiltrated our... The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
For a child. To extract kids, you'll have to carry them to the chopper.
The map has been updated. Please landing zone.
Roger. Returning to target marker.
Please select a drop point. Please select a drop point. Supplies requested.
This is B-Squad. On station at LC.
Instructions.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Marker placed. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Your target, the White Mamba, showed up in this village out of the blue and took command of the child soldiers. The surrounding villages have been victims of their raids and brutality ever since. But if you extract their commander, those kids will have no choice but to stand down. Should wrap up the whole situation. They're still kids. You can't kill any one of them, including the commander.
The map
If
has
things
been
get rough, neutralize them by knocking them out or by tranquilizing them.
Caution, rain approaching. You have arrived at your destination.
Those kids. Limited to throws or punches.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
Marker placed. You have arrived at your destination.
subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Boss, you absolutely cannot use lethal weapons against kids. If only we had a Fulton device built for kids.
Pedina ange yandi, yine yabo ke bangaka, nyoke yampembe? Kimomosa ke somo mononde? Ya zini bibuti pusakan geve.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
That. He's better than I thought. School's out. All you need to do is carry him to the LZ.
Updated. Support helicopter requested.
Aula ragazzi.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Non so da quanto tempo c'ho l'audio mutato, ragazzi.
Mission complete. Great work.
Ok, rapporto. Caso d'elite. Oh, era una elite lei. Bene. Ho fatto passare per l'inferno sto Black Mamba. Beh, sto White Mamba. Mm, 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 mm.
Welcome to outer heaven. We got rules around here. Never draw a weapon on a fellow soldier. You got that? Anyone here can use a knife or a gun. What you're gonna learn is how to use your head.
Let's move.
When you get that under your belt, then you're free to leave.
È bellissima sta. Sembra che urla. Adesso faccio una doccia che siamo lerci come non so cosa.
Boss, we've received some new job offers. The details are on your iDroid.
Ok. Allora andiamo sull'elicottero. Punto di recupero.
Please the landing zone.
Roger.
Welcome home, boss.
This is P1. On station at LZ.
Pronto. Grazie per questo, boss. Ok. Sono tutti un po' masochisti.
Gaining altitude.
Che missione abbiamo adesso? Ah, possiamo vederle. Ok. Personale MB. Ah, personale Mother Base. Ok.
Mission list updated.
Ok, allora abbiamo altre missioni,
Please
quindi
select a mission.
a stretto contatto, obiettivo vendetta. Beh ragazzi,
Please select a mission.
vediamo quanto siamo a fare a stretto contatto. E prima voglio un attimo prendere delle cose di sviluppo. Ci andiamo direttamente dopo questo punto.
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Mission accepted. Heading to Central Africa. Deploying.
Ok, ci siamo. A stretto contatto, close contact. Vediamo cosa c'è da dire su questa missione.
Rescue the 2 prisoners being held in a guard post to the southwest of Ngumba Industrial Zone. The targets are civilians, 1 male, 1 female. Apparently they're specialists sent out there to investigate infectious diseases. They were frequent visitors to that devil's house at Zoyamadino. If you recover them, we'll finally be able to get first-hand accounts of what's been going on in that place.
Ok. Ah, devo andare qua. Cavolo.
That's the target's predicted location. They should be somewhere in that area.
Ok.
The objective is to rescue the 2 targets. Counting on you, boss. Boss, an enemy squad is on its way to the guard post. Watch yourself.
Ok, allora. Siamo arrivati alla zona. E ora c'hanno da dire questi qua che sono qua. Bene. Ho già avvertiti questi qua praticamente. Però.
Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Fire!
Boh, la brazia non addormenta.
Fire!
Distraili, mannaggia, distraili, ti prego. Porco Giuda. T'ammazzo te. Rozzi coglioni te. No, no. No, non addormentarlo.
Quiet!
C'è pure un elicottero.
Speak. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Ok, quiet, va bene. Ah, ma sa dove sono? Oh cazzo. Boh. Dove è andato? È andato via, basta, ok.
Please select a drop point. Supplies requested.
Vabbè ragazzi,
Captured.
la dirò per bene tutto perché qua vediamo direttamente quando recuperiamo
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
il nostro target. Perché qua ho fatto tipo Rambo, altro che stealth. No, intanto prendiamoci le materie che ci servono. Sono qua sicuro.
That's the
non è
target's
selvatico.
predicted location. They should be somewhere in that area.
Allora, quiet, spostati con me un attimo. Supporto spalla per lui.
Please select a deployment point. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis buddy has infiltrated our map has been updated. You have arrived at your destination.
Ok.
The map has been updated. The map has been updated.
You need to help her.
Analysis complete.
Ok, lei l'ho presa.
All right, target extracted. Now extract the remaining target.
Fire!
Analysis complete.
Ok. No, ciao. Vieni qua. Vieni. Fatto missione?
Amazing, boss. Getting both prisoners out in that situation.
Mission
Great
info
work.
has been
Now
updated.
exfiltrate.
Quindi elicottero, punti di
Please
recupero.
select support helicopter.
Roger.
Requested
Andiamo.
enemy presence detected.
Gaining altitude. Departing. Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
Buono.
Boss, we placed the two targets in quarantine. They don't show signs of anything, but we'll monitor them just the same. If they had access to the Devil's House, I doubt they were sent there by some health organization. Cypher used them, and would have eliminated them eventually. But we'll protect them here. They've agreed to that. After all, we helped them out of the country as promised. The mission's complete. But boss, they've been behind the curtains at Ngamba. They examined the patients there nearly every day. They told us the patients were being made to listen to voices on tape. But the male target added something interesting. He said he doesn't know what was on the tapes because there was no English version. Of all the voices that were shoved down those people's throats, English wasn't one of them.
Ok. Butterfly. Salvo Elite, buono. Saltare, ok, meno male.
Boss, staying on the battlefield that long will have a negative impact on your health. Why not head back to Mother Base for a shower once in a while?
No, ma va, l'avevo fatto prima. Oppure ce lo sta dicendo a noi di farci una doccia. Probabilmente. No, no, voglio fare subito la prossima missione, ragazzi. Se ce lo permette.
The boss is back. Let's go refuel and load up on artillery.
We're good to go, Chief.
What's the matter?
Che è? Il bambino? Quiet. Che fa? Minchia, fortissimo. No, non dirmi che se ne va, ma gli ha fatto qualcosa. Ho provato forse a farle qualcosa. Voglio togliere il dente? Aia.
Stop this! Now!
No, quiet, non far così.
What the fuck, you freak?
Give me a hand! Hold her still!
Come hai fatto così?
Dismissed.
Payback for how they treated her?
Doesn't explain the others. She had every chance to kill them. Tight security on her cell. This happens a second time. There won't be a third.
Boss, about Eli. I'd heard that one product of the Les Enfants Terribles project went missing in Africa.
Ah, quanto è terribile.
About right. Now, I'm not saying I think it's Eli, but I want to run a genetic test all the same. Don't worry, I'll have it done without him noticing. The test may take some time, but I'll tell you as soon as we have the results.
Cos'è successo, Quiet?
Welcome back.
Rick. Go to hell. Oh, bastardi. Quiet.
Eli is a real handful. We just can't get him to trust adults. I only hope he doesn't cause any serious trouble.
Quiet. Mi dispiace. Che è successo? Però fai la brava, eh. Secondo me gli ha fatto qualcosa quel tipo lì. Lei non farebbe così, credo. Oppure ha avuto un attacco di rabbia. Ma strano. Vabbè, chiamo l'elicottero. Facciamo quello che dobbiamo fare. Fai la brava te. Quindi non posso portarla in base. Faccio un attimo una doccia. E quindi non posso portarla in missione perché ho fatto così. Vabbè. Ed è una tranquillizzata la missione. Come ha detto boss, avrei voluto uccidere tutti, però non l'ha fatto. Non toccatela, vi ammazzo. Che mina di merda. Ehi, qua. Ah, sei qua, Quiet, ma? Perché sei qua? Beh, sì, perché sei con noi. Abbiamo comunque delle registrazioni da ascoltare, potremmo ascoltarle al volo. Boh, non so perché si è comportata così. Allora, cassette audio. White Mamba e la sezione di White Mamba.
The White Mamba, Nyokayam Pembe. He's the commander of the kids based out of Wala Yamasa. As you know, contract forces of Africa were stationed at that village. Anti-government forces hired CRS to bring kids there from around Africa for training. But at some point, the adults with the PF started dropping like flies. This was right after we arrived in Africa. We don't know the cause. The kids ended up on their own. Must have been like fish out of water. Nothing to eat, no way to get back home. All the adults taught them was how to use a gun. Sure, they could shoot targets, but hunt for food? Not likely. They wouldn't have lasted long. Then the White Mamba showed up. He was faster and stronger than them, a better soldier, and he knew how to lead. I guess somebody wished upon a star, because their savior turned up like stardust straight out of the blue. The moment he arrived, the kids had their new commander. That was when they started attacking other villages. Word of the infamous White Mamba spread fast. But it isn't just his combat skills that got people talking. As you can tell from the name, he's the only light-skinned kid in the unit. Not to mention the blonde hair and the blue eyes. Not common in those parts. We have no idea where he came from or what he's experienced. The kid's a huge blank. But I'm sure you'll know him when you see him. One other thing. He's still a kid, so don't kill him. Be careful not to hit him with anything lethal. Not even a flesh wound. Our mission objective isn't just suppressing a bunch of militants. This is a DDR operation of the kids in that unit. DDR stands for disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration. Disarmament is obvious. We take their weapons off their hands. The demobilization part means dismantling their military organization to ensure they can't arm themselves again. To do that, you need to capture the unit's commander and have him order his men to disband. In this case, the commander is the White Mamba. There's nobody above him, so he's all we need to grab. Finally, reintegration. Through education and occupational training, we give them a means to live besides war. A lot of kids born in a war zone don't know any other way to live. So before they find themselves back there, we teach them another skill. I'd like to establish this rehabilitation process at Mother Base. That's why we're bringing those kids back here. It's not so much for their sake. It's for the world that we're trying to create. No other way about it. Those kids are amateurs. Bad for business to have them running around where we're trying to work. Bring them all back if possible. Or as many as you can. We placed the White Mamba and the rest of his unit in the staff living quarters. How's that going? It's a disaster, but what else can we do? We've taken away his weapons and banned him from using his nom de guerre. Apparently his real name is Eli. He must feel like we stripped him of his whole identity. We'll let things simmer down. I put a guard on him for now. Still the question is, who is he? Where did he come from? And how has he survived?
È uno degli infanti
He's still not
terribile.
talking. No, he won't say a word about himself. But you know, it looks like he speaks English. One of the deck crew called out to him in English, and he said something back. He just lost it all of a sudden, started mouthing off at the guy, in perfect English. He wasn't stringing together words he picked up somewhere.
So English is his mother tongue.
He could be from the east, or the south, or maybe even further north or south. English is well established in countries all across the continent. It's rooted in Africa like a weed, or maybe parasite is the better word. So just speaking English doesn't help us figure out where he comes from.
Could even be from off-continent.
Right. In any case, we'll keep an eye on him. If we learn anything else, I'll be sure to let you know.
Ok. Beh, andiamo a fare la missione principale. Questa missione.
Heading to Central Africa.
Andiamo. Wyatt. Cosa è successo? Facciamo questo qua. Ok, andiamo.
Deploying.
Questa cosa come mai Quiet, lo so che l'ho ripetuta tante volte, ma mi sembrava che se fa una cosa del genere. Prendi partita. Obiettivo vendetta. Aim true. Yang Lu. Yang Jalfu. Non c'è per niente scritto in inglese.
Objectives are to extract the child soldier's commander and their captive, the general's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned
Ancora altri
village.
bambini?
Start by checking that location on your map. Boss,
Ok.
the child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt. That's the village the boy soldiers have taken over. It was deserted. Seems they're using it as their base of operations. The targets are there. Look carefully.
Ok. Ora il vice comandante è il leader dei bambini soldati. Andiamo. Adesso mandiamo lei. Anzi, non possiamo mandare lei. Lei c'ha un cecchino. C'ha un cecchino di gos. Cioè di dog. Ci lanciamo qua. Chissà. La storia mi sembra un punto di stallo. Cioè, stiamo facendo semplicemente le missioni. Ciao amico. Ciao dog. Il mio dog. Che è qua con noi? Dovrebbe essere lì, dove l'ho lanciato. Adesso lui ci dirà dove sono tutti i bambini. Per vedere tutto. Il vero amico dell'uomo è proprio lui. Guarda se mai salvato, dove?
Reconnaissance is best conducted from high vantage points. I've marked a good spot on your map. Take a look at your eye druid.
Sono cani?
The map has been updated.
Sono cani, eh? Ah no, sono coyote. Puoi ucciderli? Ok, state calmi cani. Ma non ci sono nemici, o sbaglio?
The map has been updated.
High ground. Looks perfect for reconning the village.
Marker placed.
Andiamo. Anche se non serve perché c'è una cane che ci indica tutti i nemici.
The map has been updated.
Però andiamo. Perché ringhi?
You have arrived at your destination.
There he is. The
Ah, lui.
commander. Extract him.
La bambina dorme. E quello è il comandante. Anche un prigioniero. Mi sa che il comandante sta per dormire.
You have arrived at your destination.
Another group of child soldiers. No, must be a squad they had out on patrol. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself.
Sì, vabbè, non è così difficile salvare.
Enemy presence detected. The map has
That's the
been
target prisoner. He's injured. Okay, that's the general's brother. His number 2. Get him out of there, boss. Boss, another child soldier has entered the village.
Sì?
Must have been out on patrol. Looks like they had more than one patrol out. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself.
Non posso? Oh, cazzo. Ecco cos'è la cosa difficile.
General Yabakala.
Devo chiamare il cavallo.
Mosi, tata Yabankaka, Namono, Telaka Mono, Mambu.
Please select a drop point. Dispatch requested.
Bantu Yabuta, Tiambele, Etinkaka Moto.
Scusami.
Buddy departing area
Non stavi
of
parlando, ma...
operations. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Dov'è di Ors?
Fleet buddy has arrived. Support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
Vai. Portiamo il ragazzino via. E anche il fratello.
Bantu Yabuta, Tiambele, Etinkaka Mosi, Beto Nyoso, Ebampangi, Atampidi.
Ora non si può tornare indietro nel tempo.
Yapuvutuka Diaka, Limafe, Menga, Kekilo, Utamasa.
Bro, ma perché hai lasciato il... Dio santo. Il cavallo.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Clouds approaching. Support helicopter has arrived.
Guardi, non devi venire con me.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Stare uno.
Now you just need to extract the general's number 2.
E sali tu.
All right, you're out of the hot zone. No
Buono.
enemy forces in pursuit. Mission complete.
Has been
A posto.
updated.
Easy.
Buddy departing area of operations.
Departing.
Development complete.
I movimenti.
Extraction
work.
arrived at Mother Base.
Ah, abbiamo sviluppato...
Yes, mission complete. Boss, that was exceptional.
E sono incazzati Quiet di Dog. Se non li portiamo con noi si arrabbiano. Ok.
Boss, about how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we reward from the general's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care.
Ok. Piattaforma di 43 è stata costruita. Sposita le piattaforme usando il menu, torna alla model base. Ok. Piattaforma di quarantena? Ok. Sì, sì, saltiamo anche.
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill.
Oh no.
At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests.
No.
Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper.
Oh cavolo. C'è un'epidemia? Per colpa di quelli dei ricercatori che ne abbiamo preso?
Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa. Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them.
Io?
That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine.
E come faccio a saperlo?
The men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid.
Ok.
I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up.
Ok.
We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.
Ok ragazzi, ma io come faccio a capirlo? Missione staff. Non vado oltre, ne ho già fatto abbastanza oggi. È un'altra cassetta se non sbaglio. Sì. Dove magari ci dice qualcosa sui sintomi. Oggi dell'epidemia.
Look closely. Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a spargatum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. The infection rate, along with the number of dead, are both on the rise. If we don't find the cause, and soon... Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before?
The bodies floating around in the oil facility.
Ah,
The
questo ce l'ho già
bedridden
detto.
test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher.
Sì, sì, questo ce l'ho già detto. Identificare gli
Remember
infetti.
before, boss? When Quiet attacked one of our guys on Mother Base, stuck a knife in his mouth. He's one of the very few soldiers who've had contact with her recently. Close contact.
Ah,
I don't think it's a coincidence that he was among those who became symptomatic pretty early on in this epidemic. Saliva and blood spatter, an open wound, mucosal infection. Whatever is causing this got inside him then.
Miller, that is a baseless accusation.
The source of the infection is Quiet. Everyone suspects her.
We don't know that.
no.
And we've come across these symptoms before. The bodies in the water at the oil field facility. Those sick people in the beds at the Devil's House.
Appunto.
They're identical to what we've seen while we've been after Cypher.
Che stupido Miller,
Infection
raga.
could come from elsewhere. But at the very least, she does know something.
Esatto, lei probabilmente li
It's not
conosce.
like she's gonna talk.
No, not through words anyway. But what about her actions? Quiet held a knife to that soldier back then, before he became symptomatic. There must have been a reason for that.
A reason for shoving a knife down the throat of one of our men.
What if she's capable of identifying who's infected?
Infatti.
What if she was trying to stop the infection but couldn't communicate that to us? The answer to that, the source of the infection, might be in the mouths of the infected.
You think there's some kind of clue in their mouths?
I don't know. But maybe there's something about the mouths of those who become symptomatic, something in common.
Something their mouths have in common. Forget it. We can't trust her. Even if she can spot the infected, I don't want her help.
I understand how you feel. But this is something to go on.
Minchia, Miller rotto
It's just
coglioni.
like I said. Bringing her here was a big mistake.
Ma non è vero.
Quiet is gonna be the end of us.
Stand down. You've got zero proof. Try to keep an open mind on this, boss.
Ma ne.
There has to be a way to identify who's infected.
Dalla bocca forse, come hanno detto. Ma non penso che da qui lo vedremo. Cioè, non penso che da qui riusciamo a vedere dalla bocca se c'hanno qualcosa, a meno che le foto sono recenti. Vediamo, zona di quarantena. Oh ragazzi, io vi ringrazio per aver visto l'episodio fino a qui. Vi invito a lasciare un mi piace, un commento e iscrivervi se vi va. E ci vediamo al prossimo episodio. Ciao ciao!